All right, y'all. You know how Stepping with Marcus J is live. Facebook Live. We in the building. We appreciate y'all. We are about to have, as we do every single week, an outstanding show. We've got a lot that we need to get into. We lost a couple of legends over the weekend. We're going to spend the bulk of the show dedicating this show to one of those legends, our brother, the teacher, Dick Gregory. We're going to talk about him. We're going to ask about the monuments. A lot of folks on either sides of the aisle talking about should they come up, should they come down, should they stay up. Of course, we've got our returning fave. Our sister SY is going to take us through a healthy segment. Then later on in the show, we've got a huge announcement and a special guest that's going to join us. So got a huge show tonight. You're listening to the flagship show, Legacy Internet Radio. It's called Ain't No Half Step on Marcus J. That's me, y'all. And guess what? We're live right now.
Yeah. It's about that time. It's about that time to get. Yeah.
Button your lip. Open your ears. Strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. It's time for Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J.
Zellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant.
If they lying, then they must be half stepping. Ain't No Half Step on Marcus J is live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. Be down with us tonight at 804-402-2893. Once again, be down with the flagship show, heard live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. Thank you to everybody who is already here rocking and rolling with us. We appreciate you on Facebook Live, on TuneIn, on Streamer, on the www.legacyinternetradio website, which is our home site. We appreciate everybody who is contributing to the show. Thank you to those folks that are listening to the replays right now on SoundCloud, on YouTube, on iTunes. It's because you guys rock with us. We roll with y'all. As I led off on the other side of the intro there, we got a packed show tonight. We're going to ask about the monuments, Civil War era monuments. Should they come down? Should they stay up? We'll get to that. We're going to have a conversation tonight where we dedicate the Ain't No Half Step on Marcus J show to the passing of the legend Dick Gregory, the teacher. So we'll have some reflections and a conversation about him. We've got some comics that are going to come on and share their reflections. I'll share mine about the time I had an opportunity to meet him and speak with him briefly. So we look forward to that. Also have a healthy segment that we will be getting into later on in the show. And we're getting into that with our co-host for the night. She joins us every single third Monday of the month. She is my sister and yours, S.Y. But what it do, baby?
What's up, baby?
How you doing?
Hi, y'all.
How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I hate Marcus, y'all. Just,
No, she
FYI,
don't.
y'all know this
No, she
already,
don't.
but
No, she
hey,
don't.
Hakeem.
Oh, Hakeem's not on yet. Doesn't come on
That's
till
okay.
later.
I'm still saying
He
hi.
doesn't come on till later.
And I'll say hi again.
There you go. Always with the hey, Hakeem.
You know, his hate smells like really tart
Inboxes
lemonade.
me all the time. It's like, is she gonna be like that when
Like
she's
really
on?
tart lemonade.
Tart lemonade.
With lime in it.
Lemonade with lime in
And
it.
tomato.
Lemonade with lime
That's
in
what
it
his
and
hate
tomato.
smells like.
So
It's
basically,
disgusting, y'all.
you say
Really
that I'm like a
disgusting.
laminado.
You know, green is not, that was good.
I know it's good.
That
I'm
was
sharp.
good. No, I wouldn't say that.
I cut deep.
I just said,
Yeah, you can't keep up with me. What's up, sis?
y'all know. This is what I have to come back to.
Yeah. How you been?
Good. How about you?
Outstanding.
Did you
Like to
put
get
on your
back.
glasses and look at the 85% eclipse?
I had, I'm gonna tell you something. It's fun. I'm glad you brought that up. I was outside of one of the local gas station establishments that sells food that doesn't pay us, so I'm not saying their name right now.
Oh.
And as I was walking in, there was like a bunch of people standing there, and they were doing it. So I was like, wow, okay.
They were doing it?
With the glasses.
They were doing it with glasses?
Well, I do it with glasses. Hey, look, you asked for it, but yeah, they were looking at the sky, and everybody that was walking in, it was so many people doing it, it almost would be rude to not even comment. So it was like, wow, can just casually, wow, can you actually see it? And it was like, yeah, you want to see? And I was like, well, sure. So they handed me the glasses, and as I'm standing there, initially, once you put them on, did you do it, by the way? Okay, so you know. So for those folks who didn't know, didn't do it. Once you put them on, they're very disorienting. You're disoriented for just a half a second because it's pitch black until you figure out where you're supposed to be looking. Then when you look up and you can see it, it was about as clear as they said it was going to be.
Great.
It was pretty neat.
I'm planning in 7 years to go to Texas.
Yeah.
That's the spot we picked today. They have Texas, Ohio.
There's a spot.
It's like 7 spots.
Oh, gosh, I can't remember where it was. Oklahoma. No, it was somewhere. Indiana, I think it was,
Today?
Illinois. That is also in the line in 2024.
Ohio.
Is it Ohio?
Ohio.
Yeah, yeah. I knew it was some place.
Maine, Ohio. It's like 7 different places. Buffalo.
Yeah.
But
it was pretty neat what we
It
saw
was
today. I mean, I
neat.
literally only looked at it for maybe 10 seconds. I
just
mean, it
kept
was no
going.
more than that. Yeah. And for those folks who were online making fun of those folks who wanted to see the eclipse, like, get a life. Like, seriously.
Y'all just don't.
The last one was 99 years ago. Like,
they were picking this.
and if
dirt
people
out
were,
their
if people
fingernails,
wanted to
just
see it, then good grief, let them see it. Like, I remember
Don't hate,
in
y'all.
1986, would have been the winter, so the early part of the year of 1986. I was in elementary school, and that's when Halley's Comet
Excuse
came.
me?
I was in elementary. I wasn't in my 50s.
In 1986.
I wasn't in my 50s. So
You wasn't in
anything.
elementary school.
I was in elementary
In
school.
1986?
Yeah, I was in elementary school, 1986. I was 12. Well, I was 11. I turned 12 later on that year.
You were in junior high.
We didn't have junior. Can I tell my story?
That's not elementary, dude.
In Jersey City, New Jersey, we
trying
did
to
not
make me
have
think-
middle school.
Oh, y'all had
or
one
junior
school for
high.
everybody.
We had K to 8 and then high school. Can I tell my story?
remember because Kyra had. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Can I tell my story?
Oh, yeah, you should have said so. Tell your story.
All right. So anyway, so we're outside and we're watching Halley's Comet, but we couldn't see it because it was completely overcast the whole day. And it was such a letdown because they had been telling us, like, for however long it had been, that we were going to go outside and see this comet. And I said, man, the closest that we ever came, I guess it was probably 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago when they were still doing the space shuttles.
Okay.
Before the last president shut it down. And there was a 2-minute window right here in Richmond, Virginia, where if you look in the right spot of the sky, you can actually see it taking off from Florida. And Mama and me, Mama's my daughter, Mama and me went outside, and I went outside. We actually saw it.
Wow.
And what it looked like was a shooting star,
Nice.
but it lasted. Like a shooting star is
It's
quick.
going.
But we actually
going.
could see it, and it was about maybe close to 2 minutes. It was more than a minute, less than 2. And the cool part about it was, you know how you look in the sky and you kind of look eye level? We had to look literally straight up to be able to see it. Yeah, it was pretty neat. So
That's gotta be
astrology is
cool.
cool.
And
I mean,
it's fun when you share that.
yeah,
I know
man.
the
I was
baby
that
had so
kid
much
that
fun
had
with
a,
that.
well, not a kid, as an adult.
Yeah,
I guess
because you were in
my,
elementary school.
in my 20s or 30s. I can't remember when, but I have a telescope.
Ooh, that was a couple of centuries.
We're not going to do this all night.
What, honey? I'm sorry?
We're not going to do this all night.
No, what are you talking
Oh,
about?
okay, cool. I'm just making
No,
sure.
focus,
So
dude.
anyway,
Focus.
before we go further, we are not alone.
She is here with us.
You've got a very special guest with you this evening. Would you care to introduce your special guest?
Oh, my goodness. Y'all have to know. And I'm just going to say 2 words. Y'all got to know who's with me. Battle Station. Y'all
That's
know
what's up.
who's with me.
That's
I
what's
got
up.
my buddy Sheila from the battle station. What's up, girlfriend?
What's up, Ladybug? How are you, sir? How are you?
Outstanding, Miss Sheila. How you doing?
It's good to be in the cave, hanging out with the two of y'all.
Yeah, hopefully we don't make you too
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
don't get scared.
Yeah, we be freaking
No,
folks
I'm from
out.
Philly. I'm not scared.
Oh, where we got Philly in the room?
Yeah.
You mean somebody
PA
actually from a real city in
representing.
Pennsylvania?
It's all good.
PA
It's all
is
good.
representing.
So we have someone from a real town in Pennsylvania, huh?
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, Philadelphia,
Absolutely.
where
But I
there
love
really
Richmond.
are people.
I'm
But I
gonna
love Richmond.
beat.
I love
Yeah,
Richmond.
you know.
I'm gonna beat New Jersey.
What's the place that you from? Like, I don't know, Mayberry,
Oh
Pennsylvania.
my goodness. Really?
It's called Mayberry, right?
It is called with a capital N,
Mayberry.
Norristown,
Oh, okay.
Pennsylvania.
Norristown.
So
Okay.
hey, appreciate.
Do y'all like have a sheriff there or a
Wow.
whole real life police
We
department?
do. We have a sheriff
Oh,
in
okay.
Montgomery County. His
Oh,
name is
okay.
Marcus J.
Really?
Yes.
Bet you that guy is on his shit,
He's a
man.
real annoying, just a real annoying character. Ugh.
Ain't no
Just like
ass
that little
stepping.
You
devil.
are amazing.
I step with Marcus J live from the Dan Legacy in that radio. It's what we do, y'all. When we haven't seen each other in a while,
I
gotta
love
have
you.
a little fun with it. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. You want to rock with us? We're gonna roll with y'all. 804-402-2893. Now, we know based upon just paying attention to the news and just following things, what went on last week in Charlottesville, Virginia. We actually did a bulk of the show last week on Charlottesville. One of the things that we didn't get really into was the monuments. And there's a lot of folks who have opinions on these monuments, which essentially was a big part of the reason why the far right and the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists and all of those folks were out there protesting to begin with. Now, this conversation may take us to the far left with Antifa and all of them. That's cool because I'm well versed on that discussion as well. But I really want to talk mainly on the monuments. Robert E. Lee Monument in particular. You've got some folks that have issue with them being up. They represent white supremacy. They represent slavery. They represent a time in our country where we just did not project ourselves in a great light. And you have some folks who are celebrating that. The other side of that is it's their Southern heritage. It is their history. Their ancestors fought in those wars valiantly and died for the country. So folks are very serious on both sides of the argument. I've been clear. I'll be clear again when the mic comes back around to me to state how I feel on the subject. But I'd really like to get you guys' perspective, Big Sis. Let's start with you. The monuments, Robert E. Lee and others, should they stay up or should they come down?
They need to come down.
Okay.
And they need to come down because, it may be their history. It's actually a part of our history. But it's a part of our history that we care not to remember every single day. We don't want to drive down the road every single day being reminded. For some people, I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive about it. There's some things that get under my skin, and really, y'all, it might make me cry. Some things I'm sensitive about. I don't want to see these. I actually steer clear of Monument Monument Avenue, but I steer clear of it. Don't want to go down there. And I'm not sure. I caught a tail end of an interview on the way out the house. The Robert E. Lee statue is state-owned versus the others. Who owns the others? What difference will it make with taking it down? They need to come down. If we're supposed to be building a world where, well, let me not say we're supposed to be, but if we want to live in a world where we have some peace and everybody gets along, then you don't want to drive by or walk by or live by some place where it says, I'm better than you, because that's essentially what it is. I don't want you here, because that's essentially what it is. I don't want it. It needs to come down. If you want to represent something better, then something better needs to go up. Now, I'm all for a statue of Barack Hussein Obama. That's a change. That's a move forward. I mean, can you pick out another president that we had that was like Barack Hussein Obama? No, you cannot. So put something up. Put some people up who've done something positive in the world. I don't see where these statues do that. Get them down. I noticed Maryland last week took theirs out like 2 a.m. in the morning. I forget the name of the statue, took the character down like 2 a.m. in the morning, put it on a truck nice and quiet, lights out, and then put the damn thing in storage. What the hell for? Take it down. You took the flag down in broad daylight. Deal with it. Take it down and do what you got to do with it. I say knock it down, help them take the damn cement and help make a dog park or something. I don't know.
Shayla, what do you think?
Okay, so I've been having this conversation actually since before Charlottesville happened. Been engaging in this conversation with different people groups, okay? And so my perspective on it is a little different, and it's probably going to be a little shocking. I personally could care less about those monuments.
Okay.
They can keep them up. I really don't care. And it's not that I don't care because I am flippant about it. I don't have great care about it because Charlottesville proved that the people who are rioting about it and protesting about them coming down really don't know their history. I don't believe that they really actually know. I've been in some conversations with some people groups about these monuments, and when I start to recall factual, inclusive history to them, they seem shocked, like they have no idea. And I was actually having a conversation with a group of Caucasian women who were absolutely livid about sex trafficking. That was part of the reason why I was in the conversation with them. You are livid about sex trafficking, which is the sale and purchase of other human beings for somebody's economic benefit. And yet, you are clueless about the impact of slavery and that it was the exact same thing. And so to have these conversations, I think that first, people need to educate themselves. A bunch of ignorant people having conversations about a subject that they really don't know the full truth about is a waste of time. The other reason why I'm not big on them taking them down right now is because it offers us an opportunity to present a more inclusive history that tells the whole truth. So if you're going to put up Robert E. Lee, then put up alongside it the truth of his story.
Never happened.
If you're not going to do that, then yeah, take them down. If you're not going to do that, then take them down. My issue about the timing is if I have to watch on the news another fight between Richmond City and Richmond Public Schools about what they don't have and what they can't get and what's not approved and what's not in the budget, and I compare that to the amount of time and energy that's been spent on these monuments. See, I'm angry about stuff like that. I spent 10 years in the Richmond City Department of Social Services. And so when people want to get into an argument with me or a discussion with me about the value of our people or the value of life or the value of what it means to live and be a minority in Richmond City, then I think there needs to be a more holistic conversation. Right. There are schools in Richmond City who have an abundance of resources.
Right.
Mary Mumford.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there are schools who have a deficit in resources.
Right.
And so rather than march up and down Monument Avenue screaming at a statue that can't talk back, how about we have a conversation about where those funds and the money that it would take to remove all of these statues,
right,
how it could be better spent.
No,
so my spin is just a little bit different.
Okay.
It's just a little bit different about all of this because I just don't think that we're having
the right discussion.
Don't think we're having the right conversation.
No, I totally 100% agree with you, and I like it. That's the reason why I was smiling at you, because I do like it when people come in here and steal my thunder. You know why? Because in an odd kind of way, it's a bit validating, because I'm usually the one that takes it left. Right. And you set it up by thinking that you thought that it was going to be perceived as having gone left, not left as in the alt left or
right.
the Democrat, that kind of left, just the phrase it went left. Having said that, totally agree. You know, I'm of the opinion of, if I was the deciding vote, then I would say take them down. but I have no passion behind take them down.
Right.
We gotta have. I have no passion behind that because I know how dope we are.
Right.
I know that in 2017 there are resources in place for those folks who want it, because you have. Don't give me that I don't have access. You have access.
Absolutely.
You have access. I don't care who you are. I don't care how poor you are. I don't care how rich you are. You have access. All you got to do is go to the library. You have access. Now, you may not be familiar, so maybe you can say you didn't have access in that sense. But physically, the resources are there for you to go and find out how dope we are.
Yeah.
Having said that, those monuments were put there strategically in the early 1900s after the Civil War and after or during the latter stages of Reconstruction. Why? They were there to do exactly what they've been doing for the last 100 and something years, intimidate you and to show you this is where you were, okay? This is where you were. This is where we want you to be.
Don't ever forget.
And so don't ever forget it. And so if you constantly walk around with the oppressor's foot on your neck when all you have to do is stand up, then for me, I look at that and I say, let's find another fight. Because we can pull all the statues down. Great. Pull all the statues down. All the monuments, all statues. They all come down. Was it like 700 of them all across, the southern states? You just pull them all down. Pull them all down today. Mm-hmm. Right? Tomorrow, you're still going to have these hateful people.
Exactly.
They still going to hate you. Now, I don't care about them hating you more because the statues came down, because hate is one of those words that you don't get a qualifier. Mm-hmm. Once you hate, you just hate.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like love. How much do you love me? I love you so much.
To the moon and back.
Once you love, you love.
Please.
Once you hate, you hate. So once you take these monuments down, like they did in Durham, it was cool to see. I had a moment for a moment. Then I saw on the news the next day that the lady went to jail. I was like, well, damn. Dick Gregory went and got locked up at least a couple hundred times. So I guess at some point in your life, there's something to be said for getting arrested for a social cause. And then, of course, we know the Baltimore mayor, whose sister was like, yeah, enough of this. She went and sent the people in overnight. Was like, we don't want no trouble with these people, but it's coming down. Right. Some folks said that was a punk move. Some folks said it was a smart move. I'm one that says it's a smart move because you minimize the interaction that you may have of having fights with people. So, again, I don't avoid Monument Ave. I don't avoid going places where I'm going to see a Confederate flag. Like that, it annoys me. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. It annoys me, but it doesn't move me to the point where I feel inferior or anything. Mm-hmm. If you have to go so far to show me that you're superior, then that tells me that you don't really think that you're superior. You know what I mean? Because those who are the most mighty usually know it, and they ain't got to keep telling you.
Right.
So that's kind of my take on it. I mean, the same thing happened in Baltimore, Durham. They were supposed to come here to Richmond, and that ended up getting canceled. But here's my question to you ladies and to the listeners, 804-402-2893, particularly those folks that are listening, to us. And shout out, we got a few people who are checking us out Facebook Live. So shout out to our sister Charlene and Michelle K.
What's up, Michelle? Pittsburgh, baby.
Shout out to my brother D. Holmes from back home in Jersey City. Peace to you, brother. Thanks for your support. Our brother Derek, as well as our brother Tito, are all checking in. And Tiffany checked in earlier. She said peace. So, but my question to those of us here in Richmond is the Confederate flag wavers, and I'm not sure which organization it is, but every single Saturday they're out there.
Anyway,
they out there anyway.
The Sons of the Confederacy.
Is that who they are? The Sons of
the
Sons and Daughters of Confederate. They out there off of the boulevard, whatever the name of that is. It the Boulevard and Grace, Boulevard and Grace, or whatever the street that is, right in front of the museum. Every Saturday. They've been out there for years.
Right.
Every Saturday, they out there giving out paraphernalia and giving information to whomever may seek it. Mm-hmm. And seeing as though I'm not their target audience, I've never sought it. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure of if they would be pleasant if I were to happen upon them in a non-threatening way. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know. I have personally come across folks with Confederate flag T-shirts and hats on, and they've been pleasant. Now, who knows what they do when I ain't around? But I've been around them, and they've been pleasant, which leads me to believe that they're either really good fakers, which I think is most of it, and some of it is they really do believe the mess they're saying about it being heritage and about it being part of their history.
Well, that whole romanticism, that whole we're gonna just go on with the wind and make this something that it's not, is the interaction I've had. I've gone to the museum, taken my children to the museum, and come out, and they're passing out pamphlets, and they don't not pass them to us because we're African American. My daughter still took one, but like I said, I think because the notion around all of it has been so romanticized that people just, the heritage I can get as long as it's inclusive. Tell the whole story. If you're going to say it's about legacy, then tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And you can't have a truth that's absolute if it excludes the other people who were involved.
Right.
And that's the issue.
That's the issue.
You want to paint this picture, but you don't want to tell the slave story alongside.
Well, they're not going to tell it because you're 3/5 of a human. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what your position is. You know, when I think about these neo-Nazis who roamed the streets of America, their grandfathers who fought in World War II, those of them that are alive would probably beat the hell out of them with their walking canes. Like, are you serious right now? We had a whole war about this. Right. You know, whole world was involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. You know, seriously.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to get a couple of comments in before I continue here. Charlene agrees. She says the removal of the monuments is a superficial show of reconciliation. Our future generations need to know all of our history, good and bad. Plus, all this takes money that could be used for social reform programs, which is what our sister Sheila just said. I appreciate that, Charlene. Right on target with it. She continues, they removed a Confederate monument from Forest Park in St. Louis, Missouri. When she read into it, the city is spending money to have it removed, restored, which will take 3 to 5 years, then relocate into a Civil War museum. All of it costs money that will most likely be allocated to contractors, vendors who will most likely not be minorities. In the meantime, our minority streets and schools are dilapidated and underfunded. Outstanding contribution. Yep. Outstanding. You know, when I look at those folks who are marching for this, you know, the president talked about how there is wrong on both sides. I'm paraphrasing. That's essentially what he said. And, you know, Antifa, y'all wilding. Like, you just blowing up stuff and hurting people. Like, y'all wilding. Like, for real. Seriously. So he's talking about y'all. He's talking about y'all. But anybody who is protesting white supremacy, you got to remember, you're saying that you are the best race.
The superior
You're the
option.
superior. You're the superior race, and the people who are in opposition of you are saying, "No, that's crazy." So, are their methods somewhat questionable? Yeah, you don't get to just go and blow up stuff.
Right.
But we are in a country that was founded by people who just went and blew up stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
so the righteous indignation behind this is so rich to me.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously, are you kidding me? You're protesting people who are saying Jewish people, black people, anybody who is not Anglo, you know, Aryan, you know, pure blood white is wrong. That's what their doctrine is. That's what they're saying. And these monuments is what they would utilize to forward that message. So for the president of the United States, and I don't want to make this about him because we spend too much time on him on the show anyway, but it's not just him, because I've had these conversations just like you have with people who you kind of thought were rational thinkers who are really saying, but Antifa.
Or but Black Lives Matter.
Or but Black Lives, which I think is the most asinine thing a person can say. Like, seriously, if it wasn't for the alt-white neo-Nazis and white supremacists, you wouldn't need to even say Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And Black Lives Matter exists solely because of what they're doing. All Lives Matter wasn't even a phrase until this came up.
Right.
You know, and think about the
Everything
fact
is
that the
biting
Black
off of it.
Panther Party doesn't exist anymore and why it doesn't exist, and the fact that it was created largely to combat the Ku Klux Klan, who still exists.
Who still exists.
Like, think about that for a second. Like, nobody wants to think about that.
With no sheets.
Yeah. Well, you know, the skinheads, at least they ain't punks about it. They gonna just come right out and say. But see, what also is bad is there was a guy in Colorado, I believe, who had a buzz cut who looked like someone who might have been about that white nationalist life, who got stabbed up. That's not cool either.
That's not cool.
You know what I mean? Like, this is like the Antifa people. I can't speak for them. I don't know if they've claimed responsibility for it, but all of this goes into should the monuments come down, because you got people that's flying swastika flags and Confederate flags, two groups of people who freaking lost their wars, who are walking around telling everybody else that they're wrong.
Right.
Like, what's that about? I don't know, big sis. I don't know, but I look at it this way. If they stay up, they stay up. If they come down, they come down. But ultimately, we, as black folk, that's not even our fight anyway. It really isn't.
You know,
I think it's one of them situations where you in the hood, you know, we from the hood. We from Philly and Jersey. You from
No, I'm not.
Mayberry.
No.
But when we say, come get your boy, man, everybody knows what it means.
Yeah.
When we say, come get your boy, come get your boy. White folk, come get your boys, man.
What? Where's my son?
Yeah. Come get your boy. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. Live from the den, Legacy Internet Radio. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. We will be taking our very first break of the night. And when we come back, we're going to have a healthy segment. We're going to change direction a little bit. We're going to get healthy with our sister, Big Sis SY. You want to give them a tease about how we getting healthy?
Let me see. Let's say. No, I don't.
Okay. Can't think of one.
Y'all
I got
y'all always getting a hint, a clue. No.
Just say you can't think of one. It's all right.
I can think of one.
You can think of one?
Uh-huh.
Okay, never mind. You don't want to get one again. You get nothing. But we're gonna help you get your health right.
Yeah, y'all know I
and
got you.
I know that what we're going to talk about is going to be something that many of us have dealt with or know somebody is dealing with, and that is not a tease. That is just, it is what it is. You're listening to the flagship show, Legacy Internet Radio. Facebook Live, I'm going to shut you down and bring you back up. Taking a break as we continue throughout the night, celebrating the life of Dick Gregory. We'll have a word from him. Then we'll be back in a few. Ain't no how to start with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio.